we ho kra ne say rich the year can in nyina still na wo hwe wani mu a eye sa bempo and the man
it's not even likely say be next year you bet you about Champions League
the mu Master year league mu die
14 13 the Champions League
and Africa say there muni Europe na ga so ye fair chase na last season now did say man ya dey league nim go am be fair chire na mo dey because this season and they talk about game not because they did well last season in the league but because omo the Europa League route you know and that is the story of Manchester United areho but obey any day 2025-2026 Champions League you know and started proper and I'm using the word proper because you had kind of prelims be brave around it but after you started group stage games you know and then you may and then Ochina Wednesday Thursday so you have games inti me say why I watch and so you go for what they are not used to Thursday Champions League games but this season the Thursday there are games in the Champions League inti Ocean and Susana ebetimi abua papa ye now rich me say mo have touch in my why Champions League you know there are a lot of glorious clubs are or Magic Champions League in me some of those MC I don't hear me touching them for me. I'm touching them back. Rich. Na ubusa amuzupi question of the day. Say this season why and a Belgian Champions League. I think say already. I don't know what is happening. Mbayo.
Esa mo na your time ne ko. Enya preview no tentem na fi. Emre fi me di efie nkomo no. Asemo. Manchester United.
Ofi kwara ne kwara enso.
Ayi ba ko bi him na say who do you miss when the Champions League anthem is played? I say me is Cristiano Ronaldo, the real goods.
Well, no grandma. Maybe a chairman.
Oh.
I think after the okay. Rich. O question now ubusa no. Amuzupi question of the day no. Is to find out why and what's our question mark win. You look at the winners from 1956. Real Madrid started jail 5 times. Benfica came in AC Milan. Musa. The last winners were Paris Saint-Germain. Now the question you say and say by the time you be in 2026 in why and the Champions League you know. Now rich. At least there's a guide by Opta supercomputer as to why and a Champions League now you're starting and then you know or your favorite so be winning and this is your top 10 Liverpool, Arsenal, Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona, Manchester City, Chelsea Football Club, Real Madrid, Bayern, Newcastle, Inter. Enti uyo bia unse ya ngofobu wa rich omu pe betting early no they are cut so the Champions League no and obetimi a bet be 3 class e dey onu se baako beje now according to Opta supercomputer say we sankofo ni be rich your first 3 must be Liverpool, Arsenal and Paris Saint-Germain. If you want to extend it you can add Barcelona, Man City, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Bayern, Newcastle, Inter as a top 10 or more statistically or makes me ever to the quarterfinal, semis, final, not eventual winners, you know, or more etimi aji. And then there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. I have a preview and we will do it very, very quickly. And yet, Kasatin team, yeah. Arsenal are called the cathedral of Spanish football. But Rich, good for Arsenal. They have a lot of knowledge of Spanish football within Omutim, no, led by Mikel Arteta himself. Mikel Arteta is Spanish, Rich. And in the history of Spanish football, he is well aware of San Meme. Say a Honda football started here with Spain. On him the culture, on him the kind of atmosphere we create, and on him the way of backs for no, or madie. We are not free in the back city. Rich, or play Mr. Zubimendi, or play Mr. Mikel Moreno, any even the captain Martin Odegaard, or member in the backs community, no, for Real Sociedad. Then outside Omono, Rich, Nancy Okoto mascara by Okoto for Spain. I don't know back, any other. There is a lot of knowledge in the Arsenal team when it comes to playing in the Champions League for Omo Eddie Echo. The moment Arsenal step foot here, there is a son Meme, very, very nice. Rich, they will have a lot of information and a lot of familiar people are on how this venue can turn up to them. Look, Michel Bilbao this weekend. Rich, Bilbao without Nico.
In fact,
community over the car. And she doesn't know who's a team balance. Berenguer now, boy, baby, I was in Nico Bono. On as effective as Nico William. And Rich, Nico influence will be bad as so. They try to play everything through him. And the moment another Cabono, yeah, they did no. Who be to opponent so this all Cobomo. Na Omun Nico. Rich, they don't really inspire that way, no. And the mommy Judy said Arsenal will get something out of this game. Arsenal have a very good team. Almost 30 years, they have the depth. They have the knowledge of the Bia Omokono. And even without playing Mr. Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, I'm very, very integral in Arsenal team. You know, may I sure say Arsenal will do it over team. My friend Alep Kobe, but Arsenal, I know the courage. Na enya omo 1 pointer omo edi be few but bibiako ya I'm expecting Arsenal to beat team my friend Bilbao at the Cathedral of Spanish football. PSV match now money Unions in Galas Airborne. Rich, I've watched PSV last season. Though they've lost some few players, Pachao, Mo, Luke De Jong, I know you're my captain, they've lost him. But Rich, at home against Champions League debutants, no, from Belgium, I think PSV will be favorites. Or me a favorite, say Omobetimi as a Saint Gallen for Noti. That is how my prediction will go. Now at North London, Spurs above Villarreal. Rich, Nafifi was talking about Thomas Partey coming back to North London. Uye de Omewuruno. And you know how we run the Besiako. Because Partey needs to say, UK nye there.
Sure.
Because of the trial now, original. It's Uchu time. Omewuruno. But Rich, it is not a game I am expecting Marcelino to start Partey. Because already this weekend, game of Muboye in the Spanish La Liga, our two combinations, our Danny Perazzo and Thomas Partey, and our Pepe, and our Kamasana, and the started two. The following season match no started two because obviously keeping squad not fresh for every game. But Rich, Senka, who should be like team in this one? Who probably one knowledge of English footballer? Obet market say, look, my boss, meaning how they behave. Then you should throw a bunch of Thomas Partey. So make sure combination. Whether you play Pepe with Partey. Now, Omotimi, I have one ever 50 and then you run now. But the good thing is, squad now, friend, there is Thomas Partey here in the squad for team and friend of Villarreal. So, Thomas Frankie, the young will see Rich in the 4-3-3. No, the only question mark was our lineup with him. Either Obobo Paulina and also Obobo Rodrigo Bentake. And was our area. Omo Makanya, we are expecting them to play a front three of Xavi Simons, Mohamed Kudus, and Richarlison. Kudus is back in the Champions League. And then you have any opportunity to watch him. Then a back four of Spence and saying, onya call up into the English national team abante fe the Poro and Kuti and Van de Veer e which was solid squad for them when they na make no Kamasana any Pepe Gueye e won fifi the backup to these players Thomas Partey and Danny Perazzo DJ minye sure so about Danny Perazzo the pace of the English game Perazzo is slow kakra and Omubo closing now but who are for this space our boy also there he is one of the best midfielders Ubenya Euro Pepe our form and Abantia Yefano Morero our form then Matatazi and Ayozi Perez LED the lines for them rich maybe a Tottenham was no
Pepe's whole idea of
yes any other look me prediction of game we want to say even though Thomas Frank by no yard but Rich I don't trust Tottenham in Europe I don't and Villarreal for coach is a very experienced coach and see why don't we go over 1.5 in this game and stay away from we being too enthusiastic Tottenham able to fear their own best. The Spanish team can be very stubborn and they've started well just this weekend and Uncle Yamo but in the Spanish La Liga they are playing very well and see an over 1.5 game in Tottenham against Villarreal Benfica beshe kwara for no on beshe Karabakh for no unu say sisi a new studio no omo bo the UEFA Youth League no Benfica show mu 6 omo show mu 6-0 miwe omo mpoyo omo 6 let's go Bilbao any Arsenal any 1-1 and granted the na answer na mirror studio no so that is my prediction I think say Benfica will win Juventus against Dortmund Rich BBO and you straightforward in my Juve sao and you straightforward
what you Dortmund for the
Rich and you last 2 seasons they played in the finals of the Champions League last season they played very well in the Champions League. Juventus has not been consistent in the Champions League. Sadly, grow Rich Champions League stage, you know. How consistent are we anyway? Experience are we gathered every season, you know. And very important. Say Titi Juve na, Titi Dortmund. That is a classic game in the Champions League. But in Rich. In terms of two teams, the only experience for Europe in the Champions League is Dortmund. Just see them in that kind of light. Turin for say this is going to be their first 11. Kelly, Brahima, Gatti with Kalulu and Cambiaso as wing backs. Thuram and Lukateri on 51. Then they are playing Yildiz as number 10 behind Davis and Openda. That is how they are going to play. This is Dortmund. Bayer, Karim Adeyemi behind the striker Sergio Gorassi. Rich the fifth Felix Meta. Any Bellingham, near Bellingham. And so Ebabo with Kuto. Any Stevenson at wing backs. Then Omo back three of Anton, Basibani, any Rising with Kobo and Apom. Rich, this lineup is any lineup. I'll bet my fun for their grow. And two teams now are going to play in a 3-back position. Rich, again, I will not raise Juventus Beshebia. Because of the experience of this Dortmund team.
You will go goals.
I will go for goals, yes. At least, say Juventus here, I'm only Inter 4-3.
Yeah.
Obianim say in the Bundesliga, Dortmund a team a pay goals to celebrate, especially being led by Sergio Gorassi. Say if two teams have actual potential, say on the 9th in a very good game, they can all go and score goals there. Rich, why not go for goals? Juve team, they are not too consistent, mommy. And this Dortmund team can pull a surprise or Italy or Eddie Amami. Obia expects Real Madrid to be. Sana no so expectation in it here. But Rich, make us a way for people to be a little bit cautious. Ebi anu mo shede nim Olympic Marseille team no. A team e wo Kondobia. Rich. A team e wo Mason Greenwood. A team e wo some players be on very experienced. Aubameyang na almost striker. Enti say on shede nim omo a probably you underrate omo any omo ho dia omo wo. Xabi Alonso say we are excited on Baba Champions League, you know. Because this is Real Madrid and their DNA always go to the Champions League. team news say free Real Madrid ho eba and say Rich almost say then you were Trent best start. It is Trent and a ball right back now. Gabi. Then Xabi Alonso say between Vinicius and Rodrigo, back up and a ball left hand side ho. And of course, Sadia we know say Vinicius and a ball. Then the good news and they say Jude Bellingham back, but we are not expecting say best start a game in him. Rich, these are the two lineups. Courtois, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Eder Militao, Eddie Dean Howson, and Alvaro Carreras. Then Uber 51, Chiomani, Vervardi, Adegule, Mastantuano on the right, Jude Bellingham, and Vinicius on the left. Then Abranti Efedi, Kylian Mbappe is centrally. Senator Americano, Andre Gomez, Kondobia, Pavard, any Abranti Efedi, Mason Greenwood, any Aubameyang, and Timothy Weah. Omo nyina e team a your friend Marseille team nim. Enti I am expecting goals to also flow our the Santiago Bernabeu. For those who believe say oh dey are goals ni ba Real Madrid will outscore team a your friend Marseille. That is for omo edge side needed. But for me, I will not risk side any gidi because Makase, even though Real Madrid have a perfect record, but Rich, they've never been convincing. Miami so far, they are winning the games all right. They are grinding the results, but they've not played the Real Madrid level games, and games we say as a test, especially with Desabia or BNB say, so man opportunity say with team, Unyan getting into your groove, a very, very frustrating football over the Santiago Bernabeu. So yes, Real Madrid are expected to win against Olympique Marseille, but Rich, we must watch out for some very, very key players here. Omo, and line up with him. Rich, here we will end with some codes. The code no comes with the Champions League game, the UEFA League, Youth League, games be eka home. Then I think say Asia for so able Champions League and then Ali, I was Saudi Arabia. I will game be against a team from Qatar. I will fear we expecting them to also win them some 1 or 2 touches. Be very, very interesting and then. Oko South Africa or Mobile League, Durban, Kaiser Chiefs, and other competitions are so 3 bet 2 equals. First one a BW 119 F9 514, and a second one a BW 119 FF 1A0. Then the last one a BW 11A02B66. So these are the 3 bets equals BW 119 F9 514, BW 119 FF 180, BW 11A02B66. These are the 3 bets equals. You bet me ashe. Which and the games na everybody nyina no. Emu dia na obehwe.
Mesha Real Madrid Marseille
and now Beshe.
Yep, Mesha no. Na because of Yenya Kudus into Mesha Tottenham's game no.
It's because of Kudus in the party.
Yeah.
Because of the Ghanaian Ghanaian flavor into
yeah.
Only when you better talk I can say almost so.
My head almost
okay.